So for the entrepreneur who wants to start right out of college, maybe even during college, what advice do you have for them?
Well, two things. One, don't rush into it. The best entrepreneurs, in my opinion, come from never trying to take the label entrepreneur and fixate it upon their own body, their own name, their own brand. And the reason I say that is because especially now where entrepreneurship is so glamorized and people love the idea of being an entrepreneur, a lot of people are going right to having the title of an entrepreneur without ever doing any of the work that comes with it. So I wouldn't rush it. I think sometimes you'll get your great idea on a bus. Sometimes you'll get it while traveling on a plane, which sucks because you have no service and you can't text message yourself or anything. But at the same time, if you rush into it, you're likely going to fail as opposed to having the idea naturally come to you. And the second thing is make sure you know that you're not alone. In the day and age we live in where on social media, especially if you're a university student, there is endless amount of opportunities to meet people who are entrepreneurs, to learn from them, to get them on board in your company. So I just feel like a lot of people need to realize that it's a lonely journey. It's not a journey that a lot of people venture into, especially if you go deep enough, you're going to find that you're making a trade-off between your family and friends and your business. But just know that even in an entrepreneurial life, you can have other people around you, especially with social media, where I've met people who I've never even met in person, but they're helping me with my company, which is big.
Yeah. So you said take your time.
Yeah.
So what should entrepreneurs take their time with? What should they be doing to set up the correct foundation for themselves?
Yeah, I think first they have a reasonable conception for what your company will be within a year. A lot of people are like, we're going to be the biggest agency on this topic. And we're like, no, like what are you talking about? So I think it really comes down to setting reasonable outcomes for yourself. What can you do within a year? What can you do within 3 years? What resources do you have at your disposal? And the second thing behind that when it comes to taking your time is making sure that you plan ahead. So make sure that if you do want to be the biggest agency, you're not putting all your eggs into one basket that could potentially make you the biggest agency in a year, and it's very risky to get there, as opposed to really putting your eggs in multiple baskets, meeting great people who you think could benefit you in 2 years as opposed to 2 months, and really setting up your company for long-term success. That's what taking your time really is.